woman who is ready to sacrifice everything and anything for your prosperity and progress without any publicity, propaganda, or any expectation, that lady must be your mother. And who wants you to achieve something great in height more than him, and who is proud of your success and who is part of your problems all the time in life, that man must be your father. Parenting is an art, it's a science, it's a philosophy. Just giving birth to children, feeding them, paying the fees to the school or a college, and admitting them is not the end of parenting. Just getting them expensive dresses or whatever they want, the luxurious things, is not parenting. You may be a rich man, but not necessarily a good parent. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Friends, today I am going to talk as to how some parents spoil their own children. Indeed, there cannot be a better well-wisher than the parents to the children. There is no doubt in it. The parental love is unquestionable, unparalleled, and unlimited. If at all there is a woman who feels happy when you eat even her own portion of the food, and who cries when you are hurt, and who is ready to listen to you all the time, anytime, unlike the wife who is not ready to listen to you even for 5 minutes. And if at all there is a woman for whom you always look handsome though you are not so, to whom you look always young though you are very old, and if at all there is a woman who is ready to sacrifice everything and anything for your prosperity and progress without any publicity, propaganda, or any expectation, that lady must be your mother. Realizing this fact, Adi Shankaracharya told, Kuputro jayate kumata na bhavati. That means there can be bad children in the world, but never a bad mother. Similarly, if there is a man who wants you to see you well dressed, though his clothes are torn and old, who wants to see you well educated than him, and who wants you to achieve something great in height more than him, and who is proud of your success and who is part of your problems all the time in life, that man must be your father. In spite of this parental instinct, it is a fact that few parents spoil their own children, not intentionally, because of many reasons. I am going to present you those reasons. Few parents spoil the children, number one, because of over-parenting, that is blind love. You need to have love for the children, but not blind love. The blind love is without reasoning. Parents with blind love cannot visualize any mistakes in their children. Everything is fine for them. The best example for the blind love is in Mahabharata. Dhritarashtra had a blind love for his son Duryodhana. That's why he could not find any mistakes in Duryodhana. In fact, Lord Krishna once called Dhritarashtra and told him, look, if you and me make up our minds, we can stop this Mahabharata war. You advise your son who is arrogant, who is adamant, and who is not ready to even to give 5 villages to Pandavas. I will advise my Pandavas. We can stop this war. In reply, Dhritarashtra says, what is wrong with my son? He is perfectly all right. Absolutely there is no mistake. He is not greedy. He is not adamant. He protected his son. This is the example of a blind love. That is one reason. Over-parenting and blind love. The second reason why the parents spoil the children is that they are not aware. They do not know the art of parenting. Parenting is an art. It's a science. It's a philosophy. Just giving birth to children, feeding them, paying the fees to the school or a college, and admitting them is not the end of parenting. Parenting is a lifelong process. So, very important. Few parents think that money power they can bring up their children. It's absolutely not right, because there is a beautiful saying in Kannada. Siritana badukanna badalisutade, badatana badukudanna kalisutade. That means richness changes your life, but poverty teaches you in life. Just getting them expensive dresses or whatever they want, the luxurious things, is not parenting. You may be a rich man, but not necessarily a good parent. You may be a man in power, but not necessarily a good parent. So the art of parenting. Parenting is more important than financing children. That's the second reason how many parents fail to perform or educate or guide their children. The third reason is that many of the parents, they have no time for their children. They are busy in their business or in profession or in making money. In fact, spending time with the children is more important than spending money on them. The children need constant love, affection, constant care, company, guidance from the parents, which the parents sometimes fail to provide. That's why the children get spoiled. And the fourth reason is that some of the parents have no concern for their children. They think that whether you guide them or not, every child grows and will become somebody. That's true. Everybody will become somebody. But if you want your ward to become something special, something great, something extraordinary, you need to put the extra effort on that, because extra plus ordinary is equal to extraordinary. That is another reason why some people have no time for them or concern for them. Another reason why parents spoil their children is that some of the parents are scared of their own children. A well-built son, grown-up daughter, the parents are scared. In case if they tell a word or advise them or scold them, they might leave the house and desert them. That should not happen. They suffer from a single child syndrome. And one more reason why some of the parents spoil their children is that they have no moral courage to guide and to advise their own children, because they are immoral. If the parent is corrupt, if the parent is involved in unethical practices, how can he advise his own children? Because of all these reasons, the parents spoil their children. Friends, these days parenting is a global problem, which was not there in earlier days. Because in earlier days, we had a joint family. The child would learn a lot of things from the joint family, which is not there. Nowadays, if the husband and the wife are together, that itself is considered as a joint family. In olden days, there were many children at home. These days, one or two. The child suffers from a single child syndrome. These days, the children are more exposed to the external world. In fact, your children know more than you. They have the questioning mentality. They have the demanding mentality. They're exposed to the Western culture. They don't know about the Indian culture and the value systems. So it's very difficult to bring up the children. Now, first I will tell you how the parents spoil their children. What are the methods to spoil the children? And then I will tell you how to set right our own children and bring up them in life. How to spoil if you want to spoil your own children, you've got to do a few things. Number one, give them whatever they demand, whatever they ask. Never say no. Without knowing, without questioning, do you really require it? Without asking whether there is a necessity or not, give them whatever they demand, whatever they ask. Without saying no to them, you will spoil your children. And hide your financial status. Financially, you may not be all that good, but never let your children know about your financial state. Behave as if you are a very rich man and provide them whatever they ask. Another way of spoiling children. The best way is to give them the things without that asking. Costly watches, costly gifts, whatever they ask. Next, if you want to spoil your children, give them a lot of pocket money and never ask an account. You are going to spoil your children. Next, never teach them any mannerisms. Never involve them in any housework. There's a way to spoil them. Give them total independence, full independence. Even if the son comes drunkard, don't question him. Even the daughter comes late, don't question her. Give them full independence. They will get spoiled. Next, never cooperate with their teachers. Whenever they call the teacher parent meeting, never attend. You think that your children are right, always right. Next, praise them even when they don't deserve it. Praise them too much even when they don't deserve it. Next, protect them, their mistakes. Even if they have committed a mistake, protect it. Never expose it. Next, the best way to spoil your children, make property, money and property in all the means possible. In any way, in all the way, make lots of property and money and inform them well in advance. They'll get spoiled. These are the several ways of spoiling their children, my dear friends. Now I'll tell you, this is not the way of parenting. An ideal parent should follow these few tips. Number one, my dear friends, if you are an ideal parent, number one, whether you have a girl or a boy, or whether you have one girl and one boy, never discriminate between your children. Give them equal love and affection. Education, share and concern should be equal, number one. Second, teach them good mannerisms, discipline, mannerisms. Teach them how to say a word of thanks when somebody does anything good to them. Teach them how to treat the elders, how to respect the elders, how to treat the guests, hospitality, and teach them all the houseworks. Let them involve in festivals. Let them involve the houseworks. I have seen parents doing all the works of their children, including washing the clothes, washing their plates, polishing their shoes. That's not fair. Involve them to do all the housework and homeworks. They should be the part of the program. Teach them right from the beginning. Next, very important, give them a lot of affection and love. Children need a lot of love and affection. Otherwise they will go outside in seeking this love and affection. There is a beautiful saying in Sanskrit. How to bring up children. Lalayet panchavarshani, tadayet dashavarshani, samprapte shodashe varshe, putra mitram vadachari. Lalayet panchavarshani. When till about 5 years, you should love the children. Give them a lot of physical love and affection. They need to grow. For another 10 years, you have to teach them with all the means, teach them all value systems and teach them. And when they acquire the adulthood, treat your children as your friends. That's the best way. In a house where the parents and children are like friends, there will be less problems. Next, always keep an eye on their friend circle. Next, my dear friends, be aware of the teenage problems. This is a biological change occurs. Physical, mental, sexual, behavioral changes do occur. Give a watch on the teenage problems. Next, keep an eye on the generation gap. That's also a continuous process. I never agree with my father in all the matters. Neither my children agree with me in all the matters, nor their children will agree with them. This is a continuous process. Let us reduce it. Next, my dear friends, never you keep a cultural atmosphere at home. You must give education to the children. In addition to that, simultaneously, you must give the vaccination of culture. An education without culture is incomplete and dangerous. Education comes from the school and colleges, but culture should come from home. It is true, all educated are not cultured, and all cultured need not be educated. In fact, the terrorists, they are all educated, but they are not cultured. So you must see, like the vaccination that you give in younger days, give the vaccination of culture. A boy who is educated might become corrupt, but a boy who is cultured can hardly become a corrupt guy. So give culture. And never use bad words in front of children, my dear parents. They learn from you. Never fight in front of children, my dear parents. There are hardly any parents who do not fight. They do fight. Ideal couple is a nice word to listen. Absolutely, there are ideal couples. The only ideal couple I could see is a blind husband and a deaf wife. Never fight. A father and mother can never fight, but a husband and wife can fight. Fight, they have not seen you loving. So never fight in front of children. Never do a bad job in front of children. Next, give them good moral stories. But you should know them. Tell them a lot of moral stories. Tell them how to become a good citizen, how to be a good Indian, and patriotism. And then, my dear friends, never compel them. Whether it is in selection of the course or the life partner, never compel your children. After all, they are going to live with the life partner, not you. So give them freedom in the selection of the course or a life partner. And never compare them with anybody, because that might reduce their self-confidence. Never condemn them, because each child has their own limit of intelligence. And never pamper them, however rich you may be. Very important tip to my dear parents, give them necessities but never luxuries. They get spoiled. Next, never praise them too much. Undeserving praises will spoil them. And never punish them too hardly or too extreme. Never go to the extreme ways of punishing them. And then never promise them. And once you promise them, you got to fulfill. And finally, never pressurize them. They have got their own limits. And then, my dear friends, before you make your children a doctor, an engineer or a lawyer. Make them a good human being first. If they get a gold medal in the examination, is fine. If not, let them become a golden human being. So it is important on your side to make them as a golden human being first. Finally, my dear friends, never demand respect, command it. And you should be like a rubber, they are like pencils. Whenever they make mistakes, erase it. You should be like a role model. When they grow and become a great personalities, they should say, if at all I have become great today, it's because of my dad and mom, because of my parents. Such parents you should become. Ultimately, my dear friends, parenting should be a joy, not a punishment. Parents should be a pleasure, not a pressure. Wish you good luck, all the best. Thank you.